Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Jannu tribe, here on the Middle Island, and we are continuing on with another day of adventure here on the new island, new adventures, and so far our tribe has been settling in pretty well. It hasn't really been too difficult to get very established, even though we have just run into the big blue bird who could threaten our babies. We haven't had any issues with that just yet. All of our mothers are very good at defending their young. We actually have several babies right over here, some of whom are almost ready to jump into the waters or disappear into the bushes and help explore the land pretty soon now. We have several of our females who are actually getting ready. I think that, Ray is going to be passing away in 2 days, and her sister Rira, this is Rira's last day, and Rira had her little child, Seri. So Seri is sort of snuggling with mom. I love the green eyes that we have on Seri and Seriana. I believe Seriana is actually Sera's sister too. So I'm really glad that we've got the green eyes, going on, and we'll have something to remember Rira by. She really has been one of my favorites. I've just loved her spots and I've loved her personality for some reason. But I'm also very excited to see how we have two distinct groups in the Jannu tribe already really displaying themselves. Over here, we have got Sadir and her children, such as Anido, her daughter, who has proven to be a really beautiful antlered deer creature. So carrying on the deer line from Doli, if you guys remember our beautiful seer of the tide pool Doli, and carrying on the purple eyes that we had from Doli's line as well. So I've begun to think of the deer creature that we have, the deer creatures of the Jannu tribe that we have as kind of our explorers, the ones that we're going to start seeing poking deeper and deeper into this island, hopefully finding some really wonderful places that they can move in, where they can live. But there's so many other features of the island we can't really turn our back on, like being able to go fishing. There's a lot of fish in the waters, and some of you guys have warned me that these clownfish are actually very difficult to get. You have to have a certain amount of fishing skill to be able to get them. So if you have one fishing skill, I don't think it's enough to get the big ones, even though you could collect these little ones. I think you need something like 3 or 4 fishing skill to get these clownfish. So we're gonna have to find that out. I really love that the prey actually actively moves and you have to chase it down now. That's really fun. And speaking of chasing down prey, that is actually what Comey really wants to do. Unfortunately, we accidentally hurt Comey quite tremendously, and now I have to think about breeding her right away so we don't lose her genetics with her amazing bill. Oh, look at that. I mean, how amazing is that to have the beak? The beak can do bottom feeding, and she does have the ability to go fishing because of her claw, but I underestimated how deep the water was, and I ended up accidentally hurting her. So Comey cannot go into the deep water to do feeding, and that's really unfortunate because apparently any of these deep water patches with her bill, she'd be able to sift through the water and look for all sorts of different foods to eat in it and possibly bring things up, rather like creatures with digger paw can do. So, we're going to have to get Comey a mate who will complement her water skills and her fishing ability, and also her genetics pretty soon here. So we're going to be looking into that soon as well. I'm thinking it may be one of our younger members. We do have more Rico over here too. We have so many little panda pattern creatures who also have the water breathing ability, like Koanami, and she can actually do deep underwater breathing. She can do cracking. It looks like she has very decent swimming too. So I think she's going to come and join the orca pod that we're sort of putting together. And we're going to end up with an orca family, which will probably include our poor short-sighted Tsunami. I really like all of the names you guys came up for him. Hurricane, there were lots of wave-related names. Really fun. Tsunami can stay underwater, I think, for as long as he wants, because he has underwater breathing ability. But he does have short-sighted eyes, unfortunately, and he is one of the children of Dusk. And Dusk has quite the following, so I'm really excited to say a lot of you guys really want to see Dusk have more children, and I think that's really interesting. He does have spike body, and he does have short-sighted eyes, but he has some pretty interesting genes with the black fur, and he tosses in decent enough immunity. He also has cracker jaw as a recessive that he could possibly pass on, and he has normal blood clotting, and story-wise, he's quite fascinating. Many of you guys agree that he probably came from this island, and his tribe was destroyed by predators, and he was seeking vengeance on that last predator when we bumped into him and invited him to join our little tribe of children who wanted to leave the early island and go to new lands. So thankfully Dusk seems to be settling in. Aha, and there you are, Kula. So Kula, I think, is the one who I wanted to bring over and possibly mate with Komi. So I'll send him over to do that. Was that the mate I was going to pick for her? Well, I think they have the same. Yeah, they both have immunity F. I may have to look around. I may have to do a little bit of searching. Actually, Tsunami would be perfect for her. And he has swimming tail, so we might be able to combine some of the underwater breathing and her feeding from the bottom beak ability and have some interesting babies. So Tsunami, you're going to wander back over here to Komi shortly. All right, and oh, I almost forgot. We do have Ariali way over here, and she might start searching along the edges. We may send our swimmers around so that they can search the total edge of the island instead of having to peck away at the grass like we normally do. But Ariali is an underwater breather who can also go fishing, and she has currently found a very special little formation of crabbits. So sometimes it looks like these crabbits will actually face off against each other, like hold up their dukes like they're gonna fight one another, and that actually lets you sneak up from behind and be able to take out a few of them because they're so busy fighting with one another. So I thought that was pretty interesting. She also has the fishing ability, and she has the underwater breathing ability. So we've been looking for fish, but it seems like fish are so much easier to get when they're in a stream and you can chase them easier. So all of those introductions aside, we've also got Rovanduk over here. Oh, he would actually make a decent mate for Komi too. So I think I'll send Rovanduk over there because he does have swimming. He has the gills. But, no, that's the thing. I would prefer to have... No, Rovanduk, don't change your name. Rovanduk. I had to move my T. Sorry about that, guys. He changed his name on me. But actually, if I want to pass on Komi's beak, that's the face ability, and his only underwater breathing comes from gills. So yeah, Tsunami, you are the perfect mate. All right, and we have a Dodomingo, yes. All right, so all of those introductions aside, what I think we're going to start focusing on for the next few episodes in the next few days is going to be building an orca group, building a good orca pod, and doing some exploring with them along the edge of the island. And then I also want to get our little deer family pushing a bit further in, and I want to get them a little bit more established. So we have so many females, for instance. I want to gather up a whole bunch of our females and push them in a little bit further, maybe around the tree, searching for more berries. And I want to just start seeing some of the antlered deers kind of taking over the ground. It's like the land-based areas. So that's my thoughts there. So antlered deers, that's the goal for up here, keeping the violet and green eyes going if possible. And maybe we can have fun with trying to get the blue eyes into some orcas, some panda body orcas. But those are just loose general goals. Who knows what kinds of goals we're going to have when it comes to survival of our species. So let's go ahead and continue on. We're going to say goodbye to the beautiful Rira. Oh, that part's always hard. Oh my goodness, but look at how everybody has grown. We've got some wonderful juveniles now. We also have a very beautiful Duskberry. Duskberry unfortunately does have short-sighted eyes. So she's so pretty though. Isn't there just something stunning about her? I think she's quite lovely. I mean, with the violet eyes and the aquatic body gills, and then she's got the beautiful pattern. Oh man, she's pretty amazing. She can swim really, really, really well. So if I wanted to toss her into the water, she can actually swim just fine. But she's a great collector, so I think we'll leave her on land for now. I have to make sure not to click the wrong thing and have her move around. And then let's see. I know there's tons and tons of bunnies popping out from over here lately. And let's move Tsunami over. Tsunami, I want you, my little friend. He doesn't move terribly quickly, actually. So it's going to take us a while to get Tsunami to actually, maybe if I move him up here, he can kind of cross land faster, to get over to Komi. So Komi might have to get to him first. I'm going to make that happen because Komi took a lot of damage that I didn't anticipate when she ended up accidentally. No, Komi, get out of the water! No! I did it to her again. I'm so sorry, Komi. I'll have to get her out of there. I need her to pass on some babies. So, oh no, we got the leeches. We've been Be-Leeched. No. Oh my gosh. Rovanduk, you've got leeches on you. Go over to Ariali and she can help out. Oh, and what's this? We have big ears now, you guys. We can get big ears. That's so cute. Okay, and I'll have to remember to keep an eye on what the mutation menu is before we try to have a new baby. So let's see if I can get rid of these leeches. Let's come over to Ariali, and I'm gonna have to take out this crabbit. So we'll take out that crabbit, and then I have to get up out of the water, which is going to take me a minute. So we've got to get those leeches off of him. Those are nasty, and they can actually drain his health away too. All right, maybe Sikoko would see her brother in a bit of trouble and pop over to help. Oh wow, yeah, she can actually get over here no problem. Sikoko, no, we have more leeches. We've got leeches on us. Maybe they can help each other out. They actually do tag team quite often with a lot of things, it seems. Then Rico is a good collector, and she's good at speed, but not very good at fighting. She's very healthy, though. She's one of our healthiest females, even with Panda Pattern. And I was trying to put Panda Pattern kind of more for the ocean-based creatures, but that's fine. Konami, I think I might... No, the bird is floating overhead, so I'm not going to budge there. Siriana, we're going to move little Sierra over here. She's going to stay with Pearl now that her mother has unfortunately passed away. And we're going to move Siriana. She has a little bit of fishing. That's actually perfect. She's a land-based creature, so she can move really far, but she has a teeny bit of fishing. So let's actually send her up, and we'll have her start exploring around here too, because I'm sure there's going to be a nest, and I'm sure there's going to be a little fish in the streams. So Siriana, you are going to join our little herd of deer creature. So we'll move her over there. Sadir is also going to move up there too. Oh, what's this? Pookie, what do you see? All right, Pookie, I meant to breed you a little bit more. I might send him back and do just that. Kula is about ready to breed. He's about of breeding age. We don't really need to collect too much. Oh, there's another bunny. We don't really need to collect too many more food pieces right now. I think exploring would be a little bit better. Kuvan is... I'm losing some of my males, so that's one of the reasons I need to be careful. Sadir, am I going to have you become pregnant? I think I'm going to send her over to get Kuvan's child. We don't want to lose him because he is getting a little older. And what are his abilities? Nimble fingers and runner's leg. Well, let's swap over to make claw a big deal. And then maybe big ears a big deal. Haha. Just because I really don't want to lose the ability to have his genetics. Nothing really over here at all. So good to know that this is kind of like a bit of a... Well, it's not a dead end because it leads around here, so we'll just have to keep going. And then there's Dusk, and a lot of you guys want to see Dusk have a baby again. Ray, I'll move you over here so you can just relax with the rest of the group. And Pearl, you're going to have to stay to watch over the babies. I think Pearl really loves Dusk, to be honest. I feel like she and Dusk have a thing. So I will send her over to Dusk as soon as she is ready, and as soon as those babies are old enough to defend themselves a little bit. And we'll step a little bit further into the grasses so we can start exploring some more. All right, and then we've got Anado. And I feel like Anado, she's got the venomous attack ability. I feel like she'd be very bold about helping with the exploration too. So they're deer creatures, but they come with fangs for sure. All right, so we've been Be-Leeched, and I really want to get the leeches off, and I want to be able to explore and hopefully clear away some of the area. I think that's going to be my other goal for this spot, is clearing away the area around the rivers, because fishing is pretty common as a skill amongst our creatures now too. All right, so now let's see how the day goes. Hang in there, you two. All right, can you help each other? Let's go ahead and remove that parasite. And then your brother can come over here and remove this parasite. They actually kept the parasite as food. I didn't know they could do that. That's amazing. Oh wait, actually, they're not really brother and sister, are they? But their genetics are identical, so I wouldn't feel comfortable trying to make them have a baby. Now we can have her move over here and start clawing. Oh, the crabbits didn't fall for it. I was hoping they would fall for it. We can kind of like have them all tag team these crabbits. So I don't know if that's worth like their time versus exploring, but it's kind of fun. All right, and let's get poor Komi out of here. She is not going to make it if I'm not careful. So I'm going to move Tsunami as far over here as he possibly can go. Okay, he can get right next to the nest. And then so can Komi. And we can... There we go. We've got a baby incoming. I'm so sorry, Komi. She's like one of the youngest and she is struggling the most. So we have a baby incoming. And we'll just have to see if we can get some healthy children from her. Oh, I totally forgot to make sure. Oh, man. So we have Claw and Big Ear. So we're going to have to see what kind of child they have. I'm hoping we can pass on his water body trait is what I'm aiming for. And her beak trait. So we're going to see what kind of baby those two have. And then Pearl, can we move the babies carefully? Like so. And then we can collect up this food. So Pearl has managed to grab that food. This is kind of morbid because the bones of the mothers are here, but I guess that's just a way where the babies know where they came from and where they will end up, and you should just respect the cycle of life or something deep like that. Meanwhile, over here, there's even crabbits on land. That is so interesting. So there's even crabbits on land over here. Pookie is getting quite old. He has decent eyes, but I just don't think, we haven't had the urge to really have him mate with anybody. Yeah, I don't really see anybody that I would really want to immediately pair him up with. I mean, we could with Anado. So Pookie, do you want to have a baby with Anado? We could try that just to see if she gets over there in time. I'll let her do that much exploring if she wishes. So we'll have him explore there. Kuvan is just pushing forward. Alright, and Anado, how far can you go? Darn, I don't think she'll be able to get there in time. But she can help out with the deep exploring. And Sadir, I feel like I'm going to send... Oh, Sadir is heavily pregnant. I forgot about that fact. Should I send her back? I'll send her back so she can help out. And Siriana, I'm going to have her collect up these berries this move. But I'll have her move on. And oh my gosh, you know what? Duskberry is actually quite stunning. So maybe we can get her a healthy male that can become her mate as well. So, I mean, Tsunami, I think, is like her half-brother, but actually they'd be fine as mates because they have opposing genes. Who knows what kind of results that could show off too. But unfortunately, that would put short-sighted eyes permanently on their kids, and I really don't want that. All right, so let's see what's going on with the rustle over here. Kula, I actually need to send you back so you can become a mate to some of my females. I have a lot of females over here, actually, who might be good mates for him. I think so, at least. Any of you guys? Sierra. Yeah, Sierra would be a good mate for him. And then Comey, but I don't think he'd get back in time for Comey. So we'll have him go ahead and help out with gathering up the berries this move. It's important when it rains to gather up berries. I'm sure they haven't forgotten the lessons that... Was it Triton who decided to be the berry gatherer? No, it was an ancestor who was even further back than Triton. And unfortunately, it doesn't keep track of them. I think it wasn't Triton. Was it? Who decided to gather up all the berries? The berry-eyed? No, I don't think it was. And actually, I think that may have even been the last tribe. I had to think about that for a minute. Alright, well, let's keep exploring. I'm very curious. Oh, we can't manage to get the nut. No! At least we found another food source. We're doing fine so far. Alright, Rico. Rico, I think... Yeah, she's one of my healthiest with really great movement. So I think she's going to stick to being a scout for now. I'm actually going to send her this way. And we'll have her run up along the beaches, I think. And explore that way. Now, I think we're going to focus on trying to get Comey to have as many children as possible before she passes on. Oh, that was a predator. I heard him. That was definitely a predator. So, Comey, you pop into the nest. Pearl, could you benefit from taking another mate? I don't think she could. Oh, Domingo, you rude thing. It got in the nest. So I'm going to send Sadir into the nest. Now, let's see. Where's the predator? Oh, well, that wasn't hard to find. Alrighty then. Good thing Anado can actually get in here. So let me have Kuvan. Oh, Kuvan, you're getting a little old, but I don't want to lose him. He is quite the good explorer, though. So I'm going to have Kuvan actually, like, explore that spot and then jump over here and explore this spot. I'm going to have Anado come over here, attack. Now the predator is actually poisoned and leap away. So she's quite the fighter. I like her. I like her a lot. I think I just need to be patient to kind of see how the branches of the family are going to play out as days go by. Siriana, you're also a good explorer. I want to have Siriana jump up and start exploring within the rivers. So I'll move her up here. I think she and Rico may start exploring that way. Duskberry is going to stay by the berries that she's in charge of right here. And then we have Sera. Sera is actually ready to go. Sera is healthy. She just can't really do a lot, so she's kind of another explorer. We're kind of at a stage, though, where we are going to spend a lot of time exploring. And I think what Tsunami can at least do is try to chase off that Dodomingo while we wait for the babies to be born. And actually, Pearl probably can come over here. We'll have her help out, try to chase the Dodomingo away and defend the nest. Once again, this has become kind of like the mother's roost. A lot of you guys were talking about that, how we'll have a spot on the island where it just seems all of the moms tend to stay together and have their babies together and defend together. And that seems to be the mother's roost, but I can't help but think that this is quite an interesting spot, because once we get the orcas, my little orca family going, where we can start exploring the waters very, very actively. Oh, and here you guys are. Ready to do a little bit of food gathering, are you? All right, there's that one. And then he's facing the wrong direction again. So we'll just have to be patient. I'll pop you over here. And then I'll have Ariali start swimming, because she can swim. Oh, and apparently the bunnies can too. She can swim quite far, so I'm going to have Ariali start exploring the waterways a little bit more too. But there's a lot of food here in terms of the crabbits. They just move very quickly. So I wonder if you have like stronger attack if you're able to take the crabbits out a little bit faster. All right, I'm going to have Dusk. I don't know if Dusk is going to be able to have a child before he passes away of old age. Pookie can push over here. He found a bunch of rocks. There's actually that's unusual to see that many rocks in one spot. So Pookie found a little spot with tons of rocks. Kula. What am I going to do with you, Kula? Let's send you over here. And then up here. No, he got a leech! How did he get a leech? We'll have to send him back so that he has some of the family members to be with him. Alright. So Mother's Roost is kind of morbid since the mothers stay here until they pass away. But let's go ahead and see what kind of baby Komi and Tsunami are going to have. I think they're going to have a very interesting one. Oh, it looks nothing like I was anticipating. It's Anemimi again. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. So let's see. Komi, you've had a beautiful daughter that doesn't have any of the skills we were kind of aiming for. Beak secondary. And thankfully she has normal eyesight, E and G immunity, green eyes, and she actually has like reddish brown fur and swimming tail. So, oh, she can do fishing though, and she has pretty good attack. I think she's going to be a stream gatherer like her mother, even if she doesn't have the beak after all. So let's take Komi. Let's get rid of this Dodomingo, by the way. I want to make sure it doesn't get into the nest. I'm going to take Komi and jump her into the nest and have her mate with Tsunami again. Komi has just enough days to have maybe 1 or 2 more babies max. And then we have another little doe-eyed baby, or a doe deer baby right over here too. Siana is how I'm going to say her name. And let's see, what do we have on her? We have normal blood clotting, A and F immunity, normal eyesight, gill secondary, but she is through and through one of the deer creatures, including the red antlers. Now we have tons of females all of a sudden, and I'm beginning to think that a lot of the deer creatures are really eager to search out and hopefully find. Did you kill her father? Anado, I don't know if you'd forgive that. Oh, this carnivore killed her father. Okay, I think that she is going to start kind of a fight with him. I don't know if I think Dusk would hear that and like come running. I'm not sure can he save her in time? Oh my gosh, this is quite intense, and I don't even know. Sierrana, would you be able to help out? Like, I think she'd only be able to watch from afar. This is so sad. Enrico doesn't even know what's going on. Oh my gosh. Oh no, and we lost little Pookie, and then poor Kula is just all by himself, and now he needs to like come back home. How could you pass up some fresh rabbit though? I wonder if Duskberry, I wonder, let's have her gather up all of the berries she could, but I wonder if she'd come over for Kula and maybe help him out. They're a little bit closely related, but not terribly. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's a bit of a connection between these two. Maybe because they're so strikingly colored. All right, and then let's see. Tsunami, are you gonna do any? Can you do anything, buddy? He can kind of move around. We don't want to let him go too far. So I can have him kind of jump around and like help protect the babies because the bird is waiting and floating around above us. Let's go ahead and do a little more exploring with Ariali. We've got some fish moving around. Rovan Duke. Let's see. Can I get there we go. So we just managed to get the crabbit. I feel like the deep waters, I feel like she and Sikoko and Rovan Duke might do better by staying over here and just like harvesting crabbits together. That's beginning to become one of my main suspicions of how useful it would be to have them move around. Whoa, look at all those crabbits. Because after all, they can just like tag team attack all these patches of crabbits together and manage to take them out. Well, all right, you guys. So this is getting pretty interesting. We have Koanami now, and I think she's finally of the age where she can become amphibious. So she can actually jump down here and start helping us collect all of the clams that are growing up along the waterway. So I think it's going to become a thing where we have a lot of our water creatures kind of stick to the tide pool areas and keep everything lit up so we can keep an eye on where the fish move, we can keep an eye on where the crabbits are moving and where the clams are. And otherwise, can Sadira reach that guy? Yeah, look at that. I think the moms got tired of the Dodomingo lurking around them, so they took her out. You gotta defend Mother's Roost, I think. Otherwise, I think Duskberry might hear rumor of Kula and how far away he is and that he's going to show up and need help. And then we also have Dusk, actually, with only 2 days left, hearing that there is somebody in distress and that Rovan, who he was friends with and who he knew was distantly exploring nearby, Rovan has died to this predator, and Anado had to witness the death of her father that way. I think Dusk is going to come in and maybe we'll be able... Darn, they're so related though. I just feel like, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see, you guys. All right, so lots of little stories starting to fold out. We're still looking for somewhere for the deer creatures to call home, a nest on the land. And we're going to have to see just how effective our water group, especially if they all end up looking like orcas, which is quite fun, just how effective they are and how much is it worth it to send somebody like Ariali far away to do exploring. Or should we be keeping them much closer at hand so they can just gather up the crabbits and the clams instead? All right, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.